we have a 1350 series front CV shaft for a Super Duty. My customer Jeremy, it's for his plow truck, and apparently he had some unfortunate carnage, and I don't know that it was really all his fault. As you can see, the rust worms built a nest. That's the weight, the actual weight off the original tubing at that weld right there. Just before that weld, they would have ridden about here, and it compromised the tube right there in that area, and it ripped it, as you can see, all the way to the weld, and then catastrophically halfway around, and the two pieces were no longer connected. It does happen, and you can see how much that's packed up underneath those weights. And yeah, that's the world we live in here, and the rust belt. So anyways, the ask was, could I fix his drive shaft? So I did. That is 2 3/4. I don't know what I would have said. I would almost guess it was metric, and the reason I say that is because this is the FOMOCO. Ford had these made, or they made them themselves, and it's a reverse slip. It's good components. I mean, that's a forged steel yoke shaft that goes into that female spline socket. It's backwards the way, you know, stubs and slips on front drive shafts have been built. They're starting to go to that style now, and they've been doing it for a little while. Good quality components, cleaned up well. It's got 3 new Spicer 1350 snap tight U-joints in it. Best U-joints on the road. Boot kit, ball kit. The trunnion on the ball stud yoke was fine. The socket flange yoke, as usual, the articulating ball, the centering device, all the needles fell out of it. It was dry, but it was undamaged. It did not hurt the trunnion, so that's good news. I put a new boot kit, ball kit, and the spring and the whole spiel in there. That's all new with a pair of 1350s, as I said. Same thing down here. I'm going to put the factory boot back on there with the band clamps. I've got good red grease in there. Usually I drill these and put a grease fitting in the slip yoke, but this thing's backwards and the vent goes into the tubing, so I'm going to just put an adequate amount of good red grease in the stub and slip and in the boot, and it'll be fine. That wall was in great shape. That's tuned up. That replacement tubing is 2 3/4 095 wall that I had. Previously used some of it on a legit real Shelby 350 GT, and that's one of the drops from that, some of that. So that's cruising, that's up 2,300 RPM. 0 at the transfer case, and 0 at the front axle. So this is his plow truck. We can't have a guy without his plow truck, so I just powered through to here this afternoon. Of course, I was trying to get to this thing. I told him I'd get it done for him this week, and it's just been a crazy week because it's just the way winter is. But I'm going to get this, it's all cleaned up, it's ready to go. I'm going to get the band clamp back on it, get paint on it first thing in the morning, and then he can have it back. And there's weather on the way for the weekend, so it should work out. We'll get to that right away in the morning.